Let's face it, nobody likes criticism. We avoid at all costs. But also, there's an undeniable fact that without criticism, we cannot improve. Maybe we don't want to face our weaknesses because we want to feel good about ourselves. Or maybe we keep saying ourselves that you're not enough, and suddenly someone else says that you're not enough, then it confirms it, and that's really, really scary. So at the end of this video, you will have a clear idea about what is bullying and what is constructive criticism. We're gonna make the difference really clear, and you will also learn how to respond to these people with real life examples. But before we start, very, very briefly, I want to tell you the benefits of criticism. The first thing is we make less mistakes because we are anticipating some criticism in the end. We are more prepared, we are more organized, we are more careful, and that fear of criticism in the right dose is actually good for you. The second benefit is we can look at things, maybe our artwork or art process, more objectively, because once we are in it, when we are submerged with all this process itself, we might not really look at the things in an objective way. Criticism provides a different angle. For example, when I was doing my YouTube videos, one of my followers who was hearing impaired told me to add some more subtitles because some of my videos didn't have automatic subtitles. That was an awakening call for me. I'm like, oh, how didn't I think about this? I did not, because that was not my angle. And the final benefit is it shows your weak points, your weaknesses, so that you can strengthen them. Now let's talk about the difference between bullying and constructive criticism and how to respond to these people. Or should you respond at all? Now, how to deal with criticism. Let's say you received a criticism. The first step is to decide if it's a constructive one or if this person is a bully. The best way to understand is the language. If they are degrading your artwork or you, then definitely this is a bully and you're under attack. This is not constructive criticism. For example, I'm going to share some criticism that I received before. Let me read it for you. For this portrait, somebody said, "This is the worst portrait I've ever seen." Well, this is a pretty brutal attack. One person said, "Congrats, this is a terrible drawing." Another person said, "Your proportions are off, the colors look weird, you call yourself an artist and also you're teaching, you have to go get lessons first." And for this drawing, they said, "This can be only a sketch which looks like a realistic drawing. Without details, we cannot talk about realism." Why this is considered bullying and not constructive criticism? Because they are not aiming to make you better. They are not really willing to help you. What they're doing is to make themselves feel better because you are hurting. Let's think about this comment, "The worst portrait I've ever seen." You're on your YouTube or your Instagram and you see this portrait on your feed. Let's say it's really bad, you don't like it, it is ugly. Would you really take your time and go underneath and comment like, "This is the worst portrait I've ever seen"? I don't know. This looks like out of place. The person is not asking your opinion, first of all. And second, you don't know their level. Maybe they are just a beginner and what you're doing is just demotivating them. But I think instead, what this person did, visited my profile, saw that I have so many followers and I got so many good comments that he wanted to make this terrible comment so that he's gonna feel better about himself by degrading my artwork. He could have said something like this, "I didn't like this portrait. I think you could have done better." Or something like, "I think you could do this and that better using this and this technique." I hope that this comment will help you. Let's look at some examples of constructive criticism then. I think in this portrait, the head and the body is disproportionate. And another one, "I keep staring at the glosses here. I feel like something is off. Maybe the symmetry, I don't know." And heart emoji. It's not Akia, it's Akio. This was the Harry Potter spell that I kind of forgot and said Akio instead of, see, I said Akia instead of Akio. Akria. Huh. And of course, a Harry Potter fan caught it. Sorry. I think this was a very good and helpful video, but I think the skin color should be one tone darker, don't you think? So these are constructive criticism because they are kind of saying that, hey, I think this could be better. You can do this better. And let me help you with my ideas. So once you understand the difference, what should you do? If you feel like this person is a bully and they're trying to bully you or degrade your work, then you should definitely ignore them. You can delete the comment if you feel like having that comment there will bother you psychologically or it's going to demotivate you, then it's not worth it. You can erase that comment. I'm up for that. But if you want to keep it, that's fine too, because the people who love your work, who loves you, will not consider that comment seriously. The second step is to see who this person is. Is this person a better artist than you are, or a teacher, a coach? Or maybe they are at a level that you always wanted to be. Then of course you need to take this criticism seriously. If you don't know the person, if they are not a teacher, a coach, or a better artist than you, not a potential buyer, not a potential client, then maybe you should take what they're saying with a pinch of salt. The third step is not to get defensive right away. You have to think objectively. I know this is hard sometimes because we get defensive automatically, especially if we have self-worth issues, then we tend to get defensive right away. We need to stop and think, is there something that I can take from this comment? Can they be right? What can I do better? Why did they say that? What makes them say that? Because we know what makes bullies say those negative things because they feel bad about themselves. But this constructive criticism people, they're saying something because they want to help. So at the end of this questioning, you will have two answers like, yes, I agree. I think I need to change that. If you think that way, go back and say, thank you so much for your comment. And I will do my best to improve myself on this next time. If you feel like the answer is no, I don't think this criticism hits the right point for me, I don't agree with this criticism, then you should go back and thank again. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you so much for helping me improve my work. I will think about your comment. For now, I kindly disagree. So you can say those things. You can say that you disagree, or if you don't want to, you can just say that I will think about your comment. Thank you very much. That's it. If you don't give any response, I think it's even worse. I know I talked about the importance of criticism, but I want to tell you something. You need to stop worrying about what others think or feel about you and just focus on your work, because your gut says the right things. Once you stop caring about what others think or say about you, then you will understand how limitless you are. If you care too much about what other people think about you or your artwork, there might be some other train of thoughts in your mind that might be preventing you from becoming really successful. In the beginning of my career, I cared a lot about what others people thought about me and my artwork, but not anymore. And I shared all my experiences here. If you want to look at what other thought processes might be preventing you from going ahead, then definitely you need to watch this video.